Jono, good morning. We've broken convention. We've sat in the same seats as we sat in last time. A couple of park benches that are both very wet after yesterday's rain. But mate, thank you for joining me. Let's kick off with a bit of a review of Essex. We always knew this was going to be a tough year. We always knew we were going to face quality opposition. How do you sum up the opener against Essex?
Yeah, I mean, you've summed it up pretty well yourself. I mean, a quality team who have been involved in winning championships over the last few years. We knew that was going to be tough. We didn't start, obviously, the game very well, bat or ball, which put us on the back foot straight away.
Yeah.
We spoken about at the end of the game how we need to start games better. It sort of crept in a little bit last year. We didn't always start games well, and when the game was set up for us, we were brilliant. So we've got to find that challenge of starting better. The conditions were interesting, overcast, lights on that first day, a little bit of a damp wicket. You thought you have to bowl, which everyone would have done.
Absolutely.
And actually what probably ended up happening, as it dried out, it got a bit harder and a bit trickier as things happened a bit quicker. We had our opportunities that first innings. We dropped Dan Lawrence with a couple of close LBWs that could have gone either way. Which didn't go our way. But yeah, dropped Dan Lawrence as well. So that probably cost us 60, 70 runs in a low-scoring game, which would have made a big difference. But their opening attack is quality on wickets that do a little bit. We have the same. We have a quality opening bowling attack, probably just lacking a little bit of that match sharpness. All our pre-season games obviously were washed out. We had a little bit of the oval, but just lacked that little bit of sharpness. And our batters got pinned a little bit early on by some amazing new ball bowling.
Yeah, we spoke last year, Jono, about the importance. I think there were a couple of games last year where we perhaps switched off for a session, and that cost us dearly. I remember Derbyshire away. That was one where you looked at a session where we were off it, and it cost us the game. Are the margins that much tighter here? I mean, we're not talking about a session. You switch off for 10 overs, and the opposition can kill you.
Yeah, I think we said all along, First Division is really tough, and that's why it's First Division cricket. You're coming up against very good sides, week in, week out. They're on it, international cricketers, and we have to be more switched on, especially at the start of games. We've got to be a bit more on the front foot at the start of a game. Yeah. We'll be having this conversation, hopefully not after a loss, but about how tough it is all year, and that's what it's meant to be. That's the challenge, and that's what we're setting up to be better at. And the boys were good at the end of the game. They understood the areas that we need to improve on quickly, and we'll be working hard to put that right.
I suppose you look at our top four and you've got 3 Test batsmen in there. Quality all the way through. You looked at our tail, which really started at Murtagh. We've got a strong batting line up there. The fact that they've gone out there and been undone by an absolute quality bowling attack, you can't read too much into that, can you?
I don't think so. There are certainly bits we can do better, no doubt, and even the times where we got a partnership together, we've got to make sure that partnership goes on a little bit longer. It's easy to say things like that. Yeah. Everyone will see those areas, but you've got to work out how you do that, and that's the concentration bit and the mentality of the group. And we now know we know it's going to be tough, as we said, and we've got to get, as I said earlier, better at doing that.
You mentioned it yourself, Jono. There were a couple of, let's call them, questionable decisions. I don't expect you to elaborate too much on this, but when things are tough anyway and you're facing quality opponents, when you're not getting the rub of the green as well, that must make it pretty damn frustrating.
Yeah, it is. We've got the benefit, obviously, of seeing the replays and stuff, but Essex are a very experienced unit, and they set a very good theatre out there, and they get the slips and everyone. They're very good at appealing and stuff. And I suppose when you're up against it, as you said, when the rub of the green goes against you a little bit, but as the season wears on, you find that turns around, and certain games will be sitting there hopefully thinking that we've got the rub that time round. So yeah, you're right. It is difficult when you're losing wickets, and a couple of questionable ones sometimes can go against you. But that's the nature of the game.
Yeah, of course. I guess when you lose the opener, it's always easy to focus on the negatives. But let's not lose sight of the fact that there were some enormous positives to come out of this one. Toby Llewellyn-Jones' form with the new ball second time round when we took the replacement ball was unbelievable. old man Mertz picking up a fourfer in the second dig, and some proper backbone and courage shown. First up by Simo and Higo, and then second up by Higo and Luke. That must, I guess, fill you with a bit of pride that there's some backbone and some fight in this side. Even when things looked pretty much way against it, we dug in.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to be about. We're trying to be a team that are going to be hard to beat, and it might not look that way when you look at a scorecard, but when you saw the way those guys battled hard, we didn't give it away on the last day. It would have been easy just to fold and the game's over, but we battled hard and we kept believing. Even at lunch on that day, we said, if we can get through the first hour again, and we're talking about winning the game still, which might not look like it, but we ended up 90 short.
Yeah.
You look at 90 short, and our top three in the match got 7 runs for 6 wickets.
Yeah.
It's that it's small margins at the end of the day, and there's lots of things in the game that we can do better. Of course there is, and we'll keep striving through the season to keep improving and getting better.
Talking of small margins, how often do you see the end of day 3 leg spinner come on, hurl a full toss down there, Simo batting absolutely brilliantly, eyes light up, and he punts it straight back at him?
I know, amazing, and I didn't see Simo straight after that either. I don't know quite where he went, but it certainly wasn't the changing room.
I'm guessing he wasn't coming to look for you.
No. These things can happen, obviously. It was unfortunate, but after batting so well previously, he's obviously looks like he's carried on from last season, and hopefully he'll go from strength to strength from this game.
Absolutely, well, good stuff. Well, let's look ahead to Northants. Same 13 named, but 1 addition. So you're naming a 14, that's including Martin Anderson. Obviously Martin missed out here at Lords against Essex. Martin coming in offers you, I guess, something with both bat and ball.
Yeah, just another option for us. Martin's had a really good pre-season in the nets and stuff. Obviously we haven't played the games, but he's looked really good. He's worked really hard technically over the winter with bat and ball, and looks really good at the moment. So he comes into the squad. Got 14 talented blokes to pick from, so we'll see what the wicket looks like and go from there.
Absolutely. All right, Jono. Well, look, very best of luck up there for 4 days. We'll catch up, no doubt, after that one. Hope it goes well, and we'll catch you ahead of knots.
Pleasure.
Thanks for your time, mate.